So two things I'd like to say in response to your video. The first in regards to why mandate health insurance. Well, you know, apart from the theoretical applications of economics, the freedom to either have insurance or not have insurance is not very valuable. It's like the freedom to either eat or not eat. Okay, there are some freedoms, there are some choices that are more or less given. That people should have health insurance. All right. The only reason why a person wouldn't get health insurance is if they were given the opportunity to not pay for health insurance and only get health insurance once they get sick, which is the whole idea of pre-existing conditions. Okay, so the idea is, in order to get rid of pre-existing conditions, the exclusions from pre-existing conditions, people have to have insurance from the day they're born. Okay, so the idea is that by eliminating the freedom to either have or not have health insurance, it gives them the freedom to change providers once they get sick. Okay, which is the more valuable freedom to have. It's a question of which is worth more, which choice is more relevant, okay, for people. All right, so that's why it has to be mandated. Now, how is that supposed to contain costs? Well, by itself, of course, it's going to do nothing to contain costs. Typically, with other, shall we say, inelastic goods, we depend upon the market and competition within the market to control costs. It's what we do with food, it's what we do with gasoline, all those things that we can't live without. Okay, that's we're parts of the market. We need it in order to survive. They're inelastic, and we depend upon market competition to control those costs, not whether or not people can opt in or out completely of buying food or not buying food. All right, the same goes for health insurance. People are mandated by health insurance in order to give them the freedom to choose their health insurance providers once they've become sick, once they have a pre-existing condition. Okay. All right. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about was this whole idea of competition. Now, how do health insurance companies compete? Well, they're not competing by providing better services to the customer. They don't do that at all. Basically, all they do is manage money. They're accountants, they're bean counters. And the only innovation they provide in their services is making it more and more difficult to collect claims. Okay, and that's all they've been doing. That is the innovation they're bringing to this market, is not providing a better service to customers, but making it more and more difficult for customers to collect claims. Okay, and of course, once you start collecting claims, what are you going to do? Complain and say, oh, I don't want this insurance anymore. Well, that's fine with them. They say goodbye, That's fine with them. If you don't like their customer service once you start trying to collect claims, that's right in their business model. Okay, so the whole idea that they're going to be competitive by providing better goods and services to the customer is ridiculous. Okay, which is why I don't think they've got any right to exist at all. I don't see how they're providing anything of value in that market, something that the government could easily do, because all it is accounting. All it is money management. It's all it is. It's at its base, it's simple, something the government could do easily, and something that the profit motive is making extremely and overly complex. And and the market the market mechanisms that would provide better services to the customer just don't exist. The market mechanisms that would reduce costs just don't exist. Okay, they collude. There's nothing to prevent them all from charging the same exorbitant rates. Okay, and that's exactly what they've been doing. If you hadn't, well, maybe not living in the U.S. you haven't noticed, but they've all been raising rates this past year upwards of 40%. Okay, they've all been increasing their premiums, all of them. All right, and the idea that these health insurance companies are going to be brought into line by a free market is laughable. It's absolutely laughable, all right? The free market is working in their favor right now. And the whole idea with the government intervention is not to preserve the free market, it's to preserve the fair market, the market where they are competing on the basis of how well they provide goods and services to the customer at lower cost. Okay, that's when the market works well. When the market doesn't work, it becomes a game of collusion and a game of monopoly and a game of eliminating the competition and gouging the customer for all they can. All right, and that's what health insurance has become today. All right, in the United States, health insurance is a game where the health insurance industry is gouging the public for as much as they can get away with. All right, and that's what it's become. They've got no right to exist. The market mechanisms just are broken, completely broken. So that's all I'm going to say for now. Thanks.